Fireworks and lasers lit up downtown Tulsa as the state kicked off a year-long Centennial celebration.
There are 10 projectors on the tops of these roofs around these downtown buildings, pointing in every direction. The skyscrapers themselves are the projection screens. The sight a little earlier was one you wouldn't believe unless you saw it with your own eyes. Oklahoma's opening ceremony to celebrate a century.
Let's see if both of them are.
Our company is Celebrate Productions Incorporated. I'm the executive producer of the opening ceremonies for our Centennial. Celebrate Productions is a company that is a multi-visual performance producing firm. In other words, we have all the elements of radio, television, media-wise. We have lasers, programmable lighting, ambient lighting. We have video projection and animation that is going to appear on the buildings of downtown Tulsa, and we have pyrotechnics. And so these 4 or 5 firms are just really experienced in the ability to handle a production call of this magnitude. The companies we're working with is Omni Lighting. They're out of Tulsa, and Jeff Olson is also an associate producer. We're working with Western Enterprises. They're out of Carrier, Oklahoma, and Steve France is an associate producer. We're working with Avcom Productions in Tulsa, and they are an extraordinary visual adaptation team that has taken the score of our music and basically painted pictures to it that will be broadcast to the audience. And finally, we're dealing with Laser Rentals, and Walt Metter is in charge of lasers and all the beautiful effects that make lighting different. When you take that kind of scale together, when you take the lighting covering 4 to 5 blocks, when you take lasers that are going to cover a 1/4 of a mile in surface, when you take 5 firing locations for pyro on the buildings and 1 aerial location, when you take the color washes that will transform the entire Tulsa skyline, you have something that is truly extraordinary.
We actually started about 6 months ago in the planning stages, trying to develop what we wanted to do and where we wanted to do it. When we first started, we had no idea what the images were going to look like, what the locations were going to look like, where the lights could be for the best performance on the designs and the colors and all that. We have about 18 different properties that we had to get permission from for the downtown show, and we had an additional 12 properties for the aerial fireworks that are north of town for the large shells. So it was quite a task to contact everyone, explain what we wanted to do, and when we told some of the building owners that we wanted to shoot fireworks off their roof, they were a little tough. But we got it all done. Everyone understands the mechanics of it and the risk factors.
We have 14 lighting positions, 7 laser positions, in addition to all the fireworks positions. We have a lot of conventional lighting, which is just regular PAR lights, 1,000-watt PARs with color gels on those to do color washes on the buildings, with aircraft landing lights with color changers on them. We have a multitude of computer-controlled moving lights that can change color and direction and project patterns on the buildings. We have synchrolights, which are 7,000-watt xenon synchrolights. We have a new light that's being used for the first time at this show, which is the OmniLight 4000. It's a 4,000-watt xenon light. That's our own product. And we're using those for beam effects in the sky, as well as lighting up the buildings in different colors.
These lights are our cyber lights. They're a moving mirror light. This is the mirror right here. So even though they look like they're not directed in the right place, they shoot out this window, and the mirror is able to project our beams onto the first place tower.
So different times lasers will come on, different times synchrolights will come on, and it's just a variation of different looks all over the city. And then we have pyro, of course, off of some of the buildings, behind the buildings, and it's going to be a good show.
The interesting thing about this business is that we can't work on a normal hourly schedule, because all of the lighting, all of the lasers, and all of the elements have to be focused, designed, and programmed during the night.
Oh, the last few days here have been up all night, work till about 7:30 in the morning, just programming, mainly lighting the buildings, programming different patterns, colors, intensities, positions, loading them into the lighting console, and then we're linking up with time code. Time code will tell the console what to do, thus telling all the lights what to do. This is a big job. Lighting a whole downtown is something you don't do every day.
The other interesting logistical issue is how we have to communicate to all these different types of systems. The computerization and the telecommunications that we have to use in order to make all the elements do what they're supposed to do in sync, choreographed together, is quite complex.
We're also using wireless DMX for the lighting locations, so we can control all the lights from the central place with no wires, which is going to be quite a challenge. Right now the guys are in here hooking up their time code signal, so this laser will be able to be triggered from the command center, from the watch-out system that AVCOM is providing.
We were pulling cable for wireless DMX to go from one side of a building to the other. So you can imagine if we had to go from building to building, we'd need thousands of times, maybe more cable than this. So the wireless is really saving us a lot of time and money. The board generally controls the lights, and the wireless DMX just connects the two together.
We're providing the lasers for this fabulous event. For this particular show, it entails a lot of creative new technology in terms of using SMPTE in a way that we haven't used it before, by linking all the laser systems through a SMPTE line, and then from the watch-out system from AVCOM, we are tying in to our laser systems via the SMPTE line. So it's precise. We're down to frame references like video in terms of how precise we can be with the effects that we're creating.
We're on the 21st floor of the Phil Tower. On this floor we have 2 laser systems, an array of lighting equipment, which is cyber lights, omni lights, a whole group of different types of lights. This laser system here is a YAG laser, and it's projecting out towards the south, going out over the skyline south. These here are beam positions along here. This is the scanning system that will produce fans and waves and different kind of laser effects. Where we're at now is at one of the laser locations at the Great Western Hotel. We're on the 15th floor. This is one of 7 laser locations. And the other one is right across the street here from us in the 110 building. Over there is where we've taken the window out of the floor number 8 and placed a piece of plywood in there. So the laser system's behind there, and we open up the plywood aperture to shoot the beams out.
Because the reflections from the laser, you gain a lot more power if you don't have that withdrawal of the beam bouncing back from a glass.
One of the things that's really exciting about the show is that this video projection we keep talking about is something that has for the first time ever been done to this kind of magnitude. And the company responsible for that aspect of the production is AVCOM Productions here in Tulsa.
Well, AVCOM